Mr. Riley, you're testifying here for the state?
Yes, I am.
And as a witness for the state, you were given immunity.
Yes, that's right.
And this immunity, that means that you can't go to prison on this particular charge.
No, it doesn't.
And you were indeed handed immunity?
I don't know what you mean, handed immunity.
Well, you asked for it, correct?
My lawyers and I negotiated for immunity, that's correct.
And you're a lawyer.
I am a lawyer.
In fact, you're a criminal defense lawyer.
I am a criminal defense lawyer, that's correct.
And as a criminal defense lawyer, you understand how important it is to get immunity.
In certain circumstances, I understand the advantages of immunity, yes.
And just so we're clear, in this circumstances, you thought it was important to have immunity.
Yes.
Your questions are prefaced with a connector. You're doing and or and. What's the court reporter going to take down when you say, you're here because you have immunity and When you read the transcript, what's it going to say?
A whole lot of ands and ums.
You're going to be able to count the ands and ums. You don't need that connector. Why are you doing that? You're doing it because you know what your next question is, but your mind is trying to engage while your mouth is not yet engaged. So you need ways to solve doing that. Otherwise it gets boring and people will actually start counting your and ums. So what you need is a good way to do it. If you have notes, just to start, put a paper and you write and over here on the top, really big, with a slash mark through it. That's one way to do it. Or here in class, as we're practicing this, what we might do is let every time you say the word and, or every time you say the word one of your colleagues is going to go, objection. And you're going to hear it often enough, so and it's the and objection. You've got to learn to get rid of that objection. Also, at the end of your questions, you seem to have a tendency to use an argumentative phrase. Like, you realize you're here because you're a slime ball, correct? And the correct is what you don't need. Or right at the end of your question. Or isn't that so at the end of your question. If you can sometimes use your voice to take it up without the argumentative conclusion at the end of it. Many times a judge is going to let you get away with it for a while, but if your opponent stands up into this objection, he's arguing with this witness, you're going to get thrown off a pace where you might have a really good cross-examination going on. The longer you can be smooth and the smoother you can be, the better off you're going to be. Okay? I'm going to try the cross again, no and and use your voice to get your answer rather than the correct or the right to get your answer. Okay? Okay.
Sir,
Objection, and
Sir, you know about the Billy Club that we're discussing here today?
Yes.
The Billy Club was part of a case you were working on?
Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case.
Now, the Billy Club was the weapon that the state believes was used to murder Miss Victoria.
As I understand it.
And on the night that she was murdered, you in fact had the Billy Club in your hand.
I don't recall.
You don't recall having the Billy Club in your hand?
No.
It was indeed your Billy Club?
It was my Billy Club, yes.
She was murdered outside your office.
Okay, much better, much better. Still a little bit of connecting it, but much better. You see, when you use your voice to give the emphasis at the end of the question, to bring the sentence up, the jury knows you're asking a question, even though as you stand here, your theory of your cross-examination is really coming out. You're giving part of your closing argument right now to this witness, and the jury's hearing it now without all the yes, no's, and the argumentative parts, okay? Good job.